come from behind twice in a game of this magnitude, you've got to be delighted.
Yeah, I am. I'm pleased, both with the performance in terms of against the top team, like you said, in a difficult venue. We showed real courage and bravery to sort of stick to kind of playing the football we wanted to play, and that's 3 out of 4 away games we've had where we've had to come from behind, and again, the lads will get encouragement from that. We're respective of sort of the circumstances of the game. If we stick to our principles, be really aggressive, we can get back into any game.
On the ball today, we didn't play that good. I think we're really good off the ball, really big rhythm, big intensity in the press, and I think we just missed that calm with the ball, to switch from the big and high intensity without the ball to stay a bit more calm on the ball and keep it and get the long attacks, and I think that's where we struggle a little bit today.
When you look at the changing room, I think the players a little bit down. They wanted to win this game. Obviously, it was a tough game, to be honest, in the both ways. I think both teams show in the proper Premier League side team. So, I think it was a good game. But I think in the end, it was 1 point is fair, both teams.
We feel like that we lost 2 points. And especially the moments when we scored the goals. Obviously, the big moment that we had in the first half when Gavi has the huge chance to put it 2-0 and obviously the game changes. I think as well that we concede 2 goals today that we have to have some regrets about them.
Yeah, obviously the second one, Jorginho gets caught in possession, and in derbies you get that because the pace is so unrelenting and quick.
But then you have to score, and that's the difference. And mistakes are part of football. We all made them, and we have to live with them.
Okay, we'll kick off with John Cross on Mirror.
What did you make of the game overall? Do you think it was a fair?
Well, we are very disappointed not to win the 3 points. That's for sure. Especially when you go twice in front in the game, and you have the opportunity to win it, especially the moment that we conceded the goals. And we had control of the game, that we could have scored the 2-0 with the situation with Gavi. And then you concede the goal and you have to bounce back. And we did. We scored the goal, and it's a shame that within a minute you concede the other one. And I think that affected the team emotionally quite a lot, and we lacked some composure on the ball to get more passes, to get set in the final third, and became a little bit of a transitional game that is a risky one to play against them. And then we pushed in the last 15-20, we pushed, but we lacked probably the quality in the final pass as well to get the most out of it and win the game.
How frustrating was it at 1-0 when you had clear chances, didn't
you,
that basic? And then I guess also you go 2-1 ahead, and again you don't have that time to kind of put your authority on the game.
In big games you have to put boxes are so important, and we had to put those chances away. We didn't, and as well when you have some errors like the one we have in both goals to concede, then it becomes difficult to win. But honestly, the effort, the energy that the boys put in, the attitude, it was phenomenal. But I think we lacked today certain composure on the ball, to be more dominant and to get set, to get the structure in the game that we needed against a really good Spurs side.
James from CBS.
Mikel, your pressing was so effective in the first half hour, it sort of seemed to taper off. What do you put that down to?
Well, I think in the second half we regained a lot of balls as well in high press. I think they came out twice, one with Maddison when they hooked the ball to him and he took that position, and credit to them because they have the quality and they take the chances to do that. But apart from that, I don't think we conceded from set situations a lot. It's more, it was the danger when we have simple giveaways and when we regain the ball and we didn't do enough with that ball that we regained in certain areas to allow them to spread out and run at us.
Kyle from Football London.
Declan came off at half time. Was that due to an injury? And how is he?
Yeah, he had some discomfort in his back, and he was telling us during the first half that he wasn't comfortable, and when we assessed him at halftime, he could not continue, so we have to change him.
Was it the same with Fabio? Did he come off with an injury as well? Or was that
no, Fabio wasn't injured. That was a tactical decision.
There's quite a few injuries now stepping up in the squad. How much of a test is this going to be over the next couple of weeks for sort of the depth of your squad?
Well, it was already a test today because we missed 5 big players, but it's what we have, and as well trust and give opportunities to the other ones. We have a game every 3 days, and that's the level that we have to show, so go for it.
Simon from Evening Standard.
Just on Spurs, do you, from what you see today, do you feel like they're competing for the same prize as you? Do you put them in that bracket of target?
I think they are a really good side. They are really well coached. You can feel the spirit within the team. You can feel the energy within them. But I think it's 6 games is too early, I think, for everybody to discuss where we're going to be.
Miguel from the Independent.
So just on Declan, is there any danger he's out for any short or medium term? Or?
Hopefully not, but we have to assess him and see. It's strange that a player like him asked to come off because he wasn't comfortable, so hopefully not, but let's see.
I think you just got two left. James from ESPN.
Do you think the fact you played midweek had any bearing on it? Maybe they looked a bit leggy towards the end of the season?
I don't know, I think we finished the game really strong. You know, we were very dominant. We played in the third, they could not get out. There were moments that we played super hype, you know, and this derby stage, you the atmosphere, the energy to play there, and you cannot play at the same pace when you don't have the ball and when you get the ball back, you know, and we lack that composure to be much more dangerous because we could have been.
Okay, last two, Mark from the Sun.
Let's just ask you about the error by Jorginho. I mean, what happened there? It was almost inexplicable.
What happened is that I love him and we love him and we all love him. And errors are part of football, and they are allowed to make errors because they play and we don't play. And for us, it's really easy. But if there is someone that is willing to help the team and do the most of it, and he's got it for the team, is and Georgie, and we are all with him.
Finally, Nick from the Guardian.
I know there's such a long way to go, but does it worry you at this point that City have got a 4-point head start over you?
We're not thinking about this, guys. We have a game every single day. We try to win our games. We have tried to win the game today again, and we didn't manage for very obvious reasons. And that's it, and we have to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really pleased. You know, they're a top side. It's a tough place to come. Not much went our way today in terms of, we conceded, an unlucky own goal and a VAR penalty, so it's not like everything's sort of falling in our favour as well. And just the real character and resilience the boys showed, the belief in the kind of team we want to be, even though, there were times today it was difficult to do that. They just kept persevering, and it's a credit to them.
I mean, obviously, we've got young players and people on yellow cards as well. You're pleased with the maturity of that performance?
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of it. There's a real will and desire to kind of, become the team we want to be, which includes, making sure that you're disciplined and you're kind of buying into the team ethos. And, we had a really young team out there today. I mean, even guys like Vic, that's his first derby, but, Destiny, Mickey van der Ven, Pape Sarr, Brennan, all in the early 20s, Pyro, even Kulusevski's only 23, so it was a young team, but just super proud of the experienced guys we did have in there. Romero outstanding, Bissouma has been brilliant all year, and Madison and Sonny was just, on a different level in terms of not his goals, just his goals, because his goals were outstanding, but his work rate and his work ethic today was phenomenal.
Just very quick about injuries. Brennan Johnson and James Madison, they both okay?
Yeah, not sure with Brennan. Obviously, seems like he felt something, I think hamstring, so we'll assess that. Matters and Sonny went into it. They weren't 100% going into the game, but they got through it, which suggests to me it's nothing serious.
And a lot of Tottenham managers have come here and lost. And you sort of struck into a person that's very not happy to draw games, but are you happy with the draw today?
It's not about happy with the result. It's about, I think I said before the game, for me it was about the performance, because you can get a result here, a draw, and like I said, you walk away knowing that, we escaped, but I don't have that feeling now. I think we went toe-to-toe with the top team, and at times I thought we really asserted our dominance on the game. Other times they did, but, that's what happens when you face top sides. So, even if we had a loss today, and, I don't like losing, but for me to keep, pushing these guys, they need to feel that out there, that what we talk about, what we work on, they need to see it come to fruition. And when it does against the top team, in terms of just being brave with our approach, I think for me that's the key thing, and because of that I'm pleased.
Ash, you mentioned before how Celtic, maybe there was a bit of a slow start, and that's how previously. Why do you think that this time around it feels like so quickly the players have taken to the methods and are embracing it so much?
I don't know. I mean, they're all different, and from my perspective, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't change sort of where I think we're at. I said before the game, we're still 6 games in, irrespective of the outcome. But I think probably what's been the most pleasing thing, and it's player driven, is that they've created a really good environment for themselves in there where they push each other every day. They're willing to, sort of follow in terms of becoming the team we want to become, following what we're trying to, provide for them in terms of information, in terms of structure. And when you get that belief from the playing group, I think that accelerates growth. And look, we've still got a long way to go. And, from that point of view, the start is still the start for me. But just really proud of the way the players have embraced the fact that, right, we're going to be this kind of football team.
Andrew, what was your view on the penalty?
I couldn't see, but I got no idea about the handball rule, mate. I really don't. I mean, I saw the one yesterday at Wolves, and it just seems like if it hits your hand, it's a penalty, and then at other times, if it hits your hand, it's not a penalty. So I've got no idea. I've never, it's the one rule in the game I just don't understand. I've just said in there that unless we're creating, we start developing armless defenders, I don't know how you're supposed to block things and, just be in a natural position, so it is what it is, mate. You kind of hope these things sort of, even themselves out over the course of a year, but I don't understand the handball rule. I've said that to referees in the past. I don't know how they see it, to be honest.
We know that Tottenham have improved under Postecoglou, but that felt like a North London derby of old. Is that 2 points dropped, or are you happy to take a point away from a strong battle?
It's what we got, but obviously being twice ahead, we expect to win the game, especially because we scored the goals when we had total dominance of the match, and that was a blow, especially after scoring the second one and conceding so early, when we have to build some momentum and then get grip of the game and be in control to win it, and we missed that today because at the end as well, I think we were pushing, and we didn't find a way to win it.
Raya with a brilliant goal to deny Brennan Johnson, and then maybe could have tipped the chance over the post before it went in from Maddison. What was your assessment of his performance today?
On who?
Raya.
I thought he was really good. I think he made a really good save. It's true that we didn't have many situations as well today to defend, but I think in general, attitude, willingness, incredible. Our rhythm was great, but we needed more composure with the ball. We played at the same rhythm with both things, and in these games we have to be more set.
People quite surprised to see Declan Rice not coming on at half-time. I believe he's picked up a back injury. How much of a concern is that for you? And was Jesus all right when you made that tactical change as well?
Yeah, with Declan, I think he could not continue. He was telling the bench that he was strong in the first half already, so we made a call to change him. And Gabi as well, he hasn't played that many minutes, and he was struggling to finalise the last few minutes.
How much of a blow was that Son goal so quickly after?
Emotionally, it was tough, because you made the most difficult thing. We go ahead again, we say, okay, now let's control the game, let's take the game we want. They have to take risks, and we give the ball away and we concede. But errors are part of football.
Some of the decisions, the handball, I'm sure you thought should have counted. Should Romero have gone off, and was Nketiah maybe a little lucky not to go off at the end?
I haven't seen the images. I look at the benches straight away after the action, and they were also convinced that it was a pen, but I haven't had the chance to have it.
And what do you take from this North London derby in your title race today?
Well, that we wanted to win it, and it's a special day for us because you can make so many Arsenal supporters happy, and I'm sure that they are not as happy as they would have been with the win.
Thank you.
Really enjoyable game. And when we look at it now, we're going to look at it through the risk and reward of Tottenham's approach to games. Starting with the risk side of things.
Well, I think the risk is that we know that Tottenham are going to try and play out because that's how they want to play, and I think that Arsenal do want to press high. They want to try and win the ball in an area where they've got a very short route to goal, and I think they started very well with that. I think Tottenham, seeing Tottenham in the way that Tottenham are going to play now, they're going to probably continue to play how they're playing because they've got joy doing it. You see Arsenal, the guys very much a great presser for us, and then you can see the rest of the guys, the trigger, there it is, winning the ball back, trying to win it in an area where you can punish them. This one you see Vicario, I thought had a really good game, very, very competent game. He goes long and you're thinking, okay, they're going to change the strategy, but they don't, and this is where you believe that, yes, Arsenal finally done it. Maddison, look how deep he's had to come. Jesus nicks it off of him, and you're thinking, bit of composure, bit of calmness here.
That's for 2-0.
That's for 2-0. And then, we would have seen what Tottenham really were made of in that respect. And you know, in the end, you know, he misses the chance, and you know, it's a big chance to miss.
And look, it's not just in reaction to that one chance there, but it's what has happened this season. So, is that your one area of concern at the moment? I mean, look at the shot conversion.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because I think if you are going to try and chase down a City, if you are going to try and stay in that top 4 and try and win the league, then the chances you're creating through good play, what they've done there, good closing down, then you have to take those chances. If those are the margins, if that's what you're doing it for, then you have to take the chance.
Which requires another number 9?
Well, you know, we're talking about the margins now, and if that's you need to score those goals. 2-0 makes that a different game. We'd probably seen a different kind of Spurs, because 2-0 down in the derby is different to 1.
So that's the risk side of things. You, because you're a very positive person, are going to look at the reward side of things.
Well, there's been a lot of rewards, I think, since Ange Postecoglou's come to the football club. He's been very exciting with the fans, and Maddison has a huge part to play again. I mean, he's had a great time since he's joined Tottenham. He's been instrumental in all the good stuff he does, and you know, they grew into the game. Yes, Arsenal came out with a fast start today, but you can see with Kulusevski and Cole, they grew into the game. This is a big chance, of course, for Johnson arriving into the box, and we talk about who starts and goal. Ray makes an unbelievable save there, and it's fantastic to keep them in the game. But again, Maddison, there's no pressure on Maddison. He can do that simply down the side to Kulusevski, and again, they're attacking the Arsenal goal, and there's no panic here. There's no, you know, they're just nice and calm from Kulusevski. Sarga's across into the box, and you know, for me, Ray maybe is a bit advanced in his goal, and for me, maybe can help that over the crossbar. And there's no danger then. He makes a good save. They managed to sort of scramble it clear, and we talk about Maddison again, and he's playing up against his mate here. You know, Saka does him a bit of a kipper in a 1v1 situation, comes alive, and look at Son inside the box, Chappers. It's a brilliant bit of forward play, comes alive, and it's a great goal.
But this, for me, there's options, and this is where he's talking about, you heard Martin Odegaard talking about indecisiveness and the way we were passing, and this was one from Jorginho. He's got so many options, and bam, kind of like, you know, he kind of falls asleep on that, and this, you're not gonna get away with that, not with Maddison and Son. You know, that's the kind of thing, and I think that, again, you look at Maddison now, by now Declan Rice is off, massive amount of space here, and I believe in the end, you know, as much as I think a point is a great result, in the end, they could have this should have been a better pass into Son. Son might be tapping that home, but like in the end, you know, I think a point, we've got to take that point and be happy with it.
Tottenham have also got to be happy. I mean, as Ange Postecoglou said, you know, they keep coming back. That's 4 of 6 league games. They've fallen behind, and they're still unbeaten this season.
Well,
it is a different Tottenham.
It's a different Tottenham, and it's a Tottenham that got a lot of belief in themselves. You know, you can't say Maddison, Udogie. I think the goalkeeper looked really, really competent, and Van der Ven. You know, they got a few players in very good form and a lot of confidence, and this will give them even more.
Do you think that Eddie Nketiah is slightly lucky not to have received a red?
Well, you don't like seeing people getting red cards, but you know, for me, this is probably the most red card I've seen all season. You know, Vicario has passed the ball, and he's so late. He's out of control of his body. That's
a horrible.
That's leg breaking, you know. And I think just as it runs through, you can see he manages to get his leg off the ground a bit.
Just in time.
Even his knee Chappers twisting a bit there, like, and there's a yellow card. The referee sees it, but surely the VAR would say it's maybe worth a look at least, and I think that's violent, and he's very, very lucky.
Look, if you lunge at an opponent, that it lunges at an opponent in a way that endangers that opponent or with excessive force, then that would be a red card. I suppose the other argument is studs didn't go into him, so is that a mitigating factor?
Maybe, but like I think that you know, it was one where I think he's fortunate simply because the ball was gone. I think he was totally committed to it. I don't know if it's because of frustration how the game was going for him. He had one shot on target today. I don't know if it was frustration, but when you look at the ball had already gone, Shane, you know, that's where I feel that he was very fortunate to stay on.
He's totally out of control of his body as well, Chappers, and the speed he's coming at as well. Vicario was very lucky it wasn't a bad
injury.
Got
away with one now.
Yeah, terrific game to watch as a neutral. Will it be an emotional one to take for Arsenal, the way the game went, Sol?
I think with the project he's trying to build there, Arteta, looking where he wants the team to go, the big investments they've done this season, he would be disappointed how they've allowed Tottenham to get back into the game. Players should be, you know, you got control, and then all of a sudden you're so open, and then, you know, okay, Rice went off, Jorginho comes on, you know, not really playing his game. He's more receive, pass, try to do some kind of interesting kind of step over in the middle of the park. gets robbed and 2-2. So and then it's game on again. So yeah, emotionally for him, for the players, okay, neutral, amazing game. But long term, he's saying, well, we should have really put the game to bed in the first half.
And as we mentioned earlier on, Spurs' character so soon under this new manager. 8 points already from losing positions.
Yeah, no, I thought we were the big question before the game was biggest test for Tottenham. You know, were they going to go out and play the same way as they have been? Yes, they did. They went on the front foot. They pressed high. They defended right up on the halfway line, and they said, like, if you play through us, fair dues. But they did all right for me. Okay, first half I thought Arsenal were the better team, had better chances. But second half they dominated. They dominated a lot of play. They looked secure at the back. Not many chances created from Arsenal in that second half. And if anything, Spurs looked dangerous on the break. So for me now, that is a big test they've overcome, and they could be the real deal. They have been playing exceedingly well against lesser teams than Arsenal. But today they went toe-to-toe with Arsenal, who are looking to win the league this year and go one better than they did last year. So I think there's a lot of optimism and a lot of belief in that camp now that they get a big test next week at home to Liverpool. If they come through that as well, then I think they are going to be saying, like, you know, we're setting our sights a little bit higher than perhaps what people were thinking at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you noticed something right at the end, didn't there? 2-2 away in a North London derby. Most managers would say that's a great result. We've been behind, we'll take it. 7 bodies from Tottenham in the penalty area going for the winner.
Yeah, it literally, as the referee blew his whistle at the end of the game, there were 6 bodies and one within another second or two was just arriving into the... It's incredible. Away at the Emirates. I love what the new manager is doing. I love before the game saying, like, we'll learn nothing if we just... And I truly believe that. If I was going to go into management, you know, OK, you've got to cut your cloth accordingly, but if you're going to improve as a team and you're Tottenham and your ambitions are to be a very good team, you can't just go and sit back behind the ball in every single game you're playing. You've got to take risk. And OK, as Glenn mentioned earlier on in the show, you might get beaten once or twice by a big scoreline, but that's how you learn, that's how you improve. If you want to get to there, you want to get to be Manchester City or be as good as Arsenal or these teams, you've got to try to play your game and not every time you come against a good team, all right, we'll defend now, because you're never going to learn then. And I just love his bravery. I thought Tottenham were really brave today and deserved the point.
Well, Sol mentioned there, big moment for Arsenal was losing Declan Rice at half-time, replaced by Jorginho. Afterwards, Mikel Arteta gave us an update on that situation.
Yeah, he had some discomfort in his back, and he was telling us during the first half that he wasn't comfortable, and when we assessed him at half-time, he could not continue, so we had to change him. Hopefully not, but we have to assess him and see. It's strange that a player like him asked to come off because he wasn't comfortable, so hopefully not, but let's see.
What do you make of that, Sol?
You know, I think any player who wants to come off and they're injured, they're injured. You know, Declan Rice, to me, looks like an upstanding kind of guy. He's proper. He's going to go through all sorts of things to play for his team. So it has to be something really niggling him proper for him to say, you know what, I just can't play my best game, you know, or I'm in danger of kind of injuring myself even more for the next few games. So I think he's probably looked at it and said, look, let me just come out of this game and then hopefully I'll be all right for the next coming games.
Yeah, it looks like he's injured. I mean, he's done it in the game. You know, Arteta didn't say, well, he's had a trouble with his back all through the week and we put him in and unfortunately it didn't work out. We've had to take him off. He's actually said, look, there's something wrong with my back here. And he's probably done it, like you're saying, Sol, that protecting himself for a long term. Whatever he's done, he hasn't made it up, that's for sure, because he's not that type of guy. And they missed him. I mean, Jorginho came on and made the mistake. Actually, wasn't perhaps match sharpness.
He wasn't up to speed.
No, and he was doing things out of character. That's not Jorginho's game, taking on, dragging back and trying and complicate the game, particularly in that area of the pitch when you're second from last on the ball. You're not the last man, but there's only one defender behind you. And to be fair to Maddison, he goes and presses him and bang, and they get the equaliser. But I think Rice will be hopefully back pretty quickly for Arsenal's point of view because he's a really strong cog in their team.
Yeah, and it cleared it up, didn't it? Because we were questioning at half-time, surely he's not brought him off. I mean, 105 million and bring him off at half-time. So we were questioning that because he looked as if he was fine during the game. So it's good that it's been cleared up that it was an injury and not a tactical decision. And of course, in coming off early, hopefully they clear that up quicker than they normally would if he had kept pushing through the pain.
Okay, no point of view?
No, I think with the rules as they are, I mean, back in the day it would never be a penalty, but as the rules as they are, it's pretty plain now. Defenders have got to go. If there's any chance of closing a shot down, you've got to go with your arms behind your back. It's pretty simple, so. And it's not a natural movement that you need or you want a defender to do, but there's too many of these happening. And the rules are saying that's a penalty, and it was given, and rightly so. But for me, I don't like the rule.
No.
I think.
But the rule's there,
backwards.
Glenn, and you've got no complaint. And they also checked the potential foul on Maddison as well. They were happy with that.
No, I think it was, in the end, in the modern day rules, it's a penalty, and I think he knew it. Look, his reaction, Romero.
Yeah. And it was Saka, not Ødegaard, Michael, that dispatched it.
Yeah, short run up. And fully intended to go down the middle, reasonably soft, you know, and high, so the goalkeeper's trailing legs, if he's going to dive, weren't going to save it, and it was a very good pen.
98 seconds later, though, so what was Jorginho doing here?
Well, he's not playing his game. You know, he's usually get the ball, move it quickly. That's his game, and he's got a chance to pass to Ben White wide, scan in, and then he gets in the muddle here, and they rob him, and there you go. I mean, when you go up, you know, statistically, you've got to be looking at the first 5 minutes. It's normal. You know, so many goals are scored in the first kind of 5 minutes after someone scored. So you've got to be aware of that.
They made that look easy, don't they?
They did.
Yeah. I mean, that's, in theory, an easy pass, but it's a pass to make sure everyone's on sides, make sure the defender is not, you know, going one way or the other. It's the timing, it's the weight, it's the finish, the calmness. It's, you know, two players at the top of their game. If Tottenham are asking for two players to be bearing down on goal there, you're thinking, please be Maddison, please be Son. And it was. And they just made a difficult enough situation look easy.
And on that character, Glenn, just in 6 games in charge, they've already got 8 points from losing positions.
Well, I think it's refreshing in the way that he sets the team up, and the players actually buy into it because he says, I don't care who we're going to play. He'll be the same if he goes to Liverpool, to Man City. They'll play the same way. They might take a little bit of a tonking one day, might get beat 3, but I think the players like the fact that he goes on the front foot. They're going to press. They're going to put lots of bodies forward. We said before the game, we did a bit that they'll press right up, squeeze up. They'll leave the space in behind so that they can press, and they've got ability on the ball now. You've got to say that there's some really good players they've got. They're under the radar at the moment, Tottenham, and Ange won't mind them being under the radar, but they're an impressive outfit at the moment.
Very similar to you, Sol. 2 points dropped, he feels.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at the course of the game, Tottenham definitely second half came back strong. But if Arsenal finish their shots off in the first half, then, you know, Tottenham's got a long way to climb up the mountain to get a result. But, you know, even Stevens, you know, this is football. You know, that point might be good at the end of the season. It doesn't really do much for both teams because we've lost a lot of ground with Manchester City. But overall, you know, a draw's a draw. You know, two teams that play really good football, tight game, fantastic derby, great atmosphere. You know, that's what you want for the neutral. But Arsenal definitely, for the chances in the first half, they'll be ruining it.
Well, the North London derbies are always brilliant affairs. They're competitive, it's fierce, no one's pulling out of a challenge, and the atmosphere is always incredible. This was no exception, and it was pretty split, really. If anything, you could just see that Spurs shaded possession and, of course, completed passes. But what we saw there for the first 20 minutes were Arsenal as the home team, quite naturally, Tim, were the dominant force before Spurs really grew into it.
I thought it was a very good game. Two top sides, full of confidence. And the emotion in this game is everything. You know, for a Tottenham or Arsenal player, this is a huge fixture. It's the one you look out for, and it's the first one of the season. It was at the Emirates. So I went into the game with hope because of the way Tottenham have been playing. More the game went on, I was optimistic. You know, I felt like they could have nicked the game. Big moments. You hear Mikel talking about it there. They're 1-0 up Arsenal. Gabby takes the ball off of Maddison. He should score. 2-0 would have been very difficult. But they never put their heads down. They carried on playing exactly the way Postecoglou wants them to play. With courage, bravery, incisive, moving the ball forward, running off the ball, with pace, trickery. And they deserve to get back in the game.
Yeah. First time in 4 years, Spurs have managed to take at least a point from the Emirates Stadium. Is that what we've learnt more from those 90 minutes, is the way Spurs have continued to grow under Postecoglou?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we've all been talking about this new look Tottenham Hotspur's side this season under Ange Postecoglou, how they're a breath of fresh air on the attack, very positive in their play. But I know you can then go to the Arsenal, you can go to the Emirates, and you can just fall back into what you know. You can become negative. You know you go into a team with lots of quality in Arsenal, and you can fall back into your defensive structure that you've relied on for 2 or 3 seasons so far. But it's far from that, what we saw from Tottenham today. Right from the first whistle, yes, Arsenal started with a high press, but Tottenham took the ball. They took it in dangerous positions.
Yeah.
They were happy to try and bring Arsenal onto them and try and play through the press of Arsenal. And that was very impressive from Tottenham. It took them a while to figure out how to get through it. And within that period, Arsenal had a couple of big chances that if they take, the game is completely different. But from the moment that they first managed to play through and get that big Brennan Johnson chance, I thought Spurs showed everybody what they're about this season.
There's a certain resilience under Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. They had to come back twice. So let's have a look at the opening goal from an Arsenal perspective. I mean, it'll go down as a Romero own goal, but Saka clearly had a big say in it, right, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Odegaard gets the ball out to him, and Doggy just follows the runner. And they both follow the runner, and he comes inside. You know what he's going to do, Saka. He wants to get onto his left foot. He wants to bend it into the far corner. Get a little bit fortunate with the deflection off Romero. But in the end, I think at that stage, they were a little bit on top, you know, and probably deserved it. But that was going wide. Mario just turns it past Vicario. But never got their heads down, just kept going and kept pushing forward. And I just felt, you know, 10 minutes after that goal, I just felt Tottenham were going to get back in the game. Yeah. They had a real belief.
Was that a communication issue between Udogie and Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, if you utilise the situation that was 2v2, if you're the full-back and you're the wide man, you know you're marking your contemporaries on the other side of the field, and you just have to communicate. You have to say, you stay with the runner and I'll go to the ball if you're Brennan Johnson running back into this position, or vice versa, I'll take the runner, you stay on the ball. It's a very easy issue to solve. What you can't do is allow Saka that space in that position, stepping inside the penalty area, because even though he scuffed the shot, he got fortunate, I feel, with the fact Romero diverted it into the goal. We've seen him score so many goals from that position, and he was there to punish Spurs.
Spurs' response was very good, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I just felt they were growing confident, they were taking the ball, and this really is all about Maddison. I mean, they were putting pressure on, but they just keep it alive. You know, they've got good shape, and Doggy heads the ball to him, and Saka gets the wrong side. And he goes, see you later. And he changes pace, and he just cuts it back. And what a finish that is from Son. You know, he gets across the defenders, but it's all about Maddison there. He has no idea, you know, he has no sight on Saka, but what he does, he feels him. So here, he just feels him, he knows exactly where he is here, and he just slips him, and he changes pace there, and a great pull back. Use the paces on the ball, and Sonny just steers that into the far corner. It's a wonderful equaliser for Tottenham.
Yeah. That just shows you that communication. In fact, those two have got a great understanding right now, haven't they?
They do. I mean, they suit each other's games. I mean, for so long, Son has played with Harry Kane, who likes to drop into positions, allows Son to then run in behind opposition's defence, and they've linked up very well. And Maddison has that same ability that Harry Kane does. And I thought, as Tim was mentioning there, I thought Maddison was terrific today. He took the ball in dangerous positions, was nearly punished by Jesus early in the game for taking it and taking too long on the edge of his own penalty area. But other than that, I thought he was outstanding.
Now, what was interesting, Romero clearly had a part to play in that first goal for Arsenal. He also had a big part to play when Arsenal took the lead again for their second goal, because it was his handball that gave the Gunners a penalty. Let's speak to Chris Foy, former Premier League referee, of course, about how this came to become a penalty. Chris, always good to see you. What happens here?
Well, I think first and foremost, Manish, it is a penalty. Romero's got his arm out. Is it in a natural position? No, it's not. And what we talk about with handball is your arm in a justifiable position. And when you see the footage and it runs through, you'll see it quite clearly strikes him on the arm. It's not seen by the referee on field, Rob Jones, but it's obviously picked up by the VAR, Paul Tierney, who recommended a review. I don't think there's any problem with that. The ball's travelling towards goal. His arm is clearly out. And it's a good intervention by the VAR, and quite rightly a penalty was given, in my opinion.
Yeah, Romero's reaction was quite telling. He wasn't particularly surprised when the penalty was given. What do you think, both of you?
I think it's a penalty.
Right. Cool.
I think it's good use of VAR. I think once when you fall to your knee, your arms are going to come up. So it is a natural position. in my opinion. But he's so close to the goal. If it misses his hand, it goes into the net. So.
Yeah, I could always argue about that unnatural position sentence. It's, as Tim said, he's stretching for the ball. James Maddison gets a semi-block on the shot from Ben White. That propels it into the air, but it was going goal-bound. It probably would have gone into the back of the goal. It hit his arm. It's a penalty kick.
All right. Chris, thanks very much for now. As for the resulting penalty, Saka made no mistake. You like the way you took this, Tim?
Just calm. I mean, this is really... It's a pressure cooker environment, this North London derby, and the boy's so cool. To call this man out there, he just waits for Vicario to dive, just lifts it. But he's just class, this kid. I mean, this boy is a superstar. On the big occasions, he always turns up, and he was there today as well when he was needed.
Yeah. But what I like about Spurs is it took them literally seconds to hit back once again, right?
Yeah, well, they were gifted the opportunity.
Yeah.
There's
But
no
they
mistake
capitalised,
about
that's
that.
the thing.
But they were ready for it. They were in a position, they were prepared to press this Arsenal team who just scored a goal against them. And Jorginho will be kicking himself this evening. You see him with his hands on his head. You cannot get caught on the ball in that position, especially when you've got Maddison and Son being the players to run onto the ball. It's a beautifully weighted pass from James Maddison. Son just waits for it to go onto his foot, passes it in the far corner, and you couldn't believe the luck to get back into it so quickly.
Yeah.
But I thought they deserved it. I thought they played well.
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
Jorginho, possibly one of the most experienced players, certainly most covered with medals player on the pitch. They missed Declan Rice when he went off.
Yeah.
He's not making that sort of error, Declan Rice. But Jorginho, they hunted him down. Maddison went and got the ball off him. The timing of the pass was great and the finish was excellent.
And after your best start for Spurs in the Premier League, or top flight for like 60-odd years, you got Liverpool next to try and build on what happened against Arsenal.
Yeah.
The only team you've yet to beat at the new Spurs Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a difficult game, but I think they go with confidence. One thing I always say to Tottenham fans, don't get carried away with results, because the last 2 or 3 seasons they've started well also. But what you can get carried away with is style, because that's not going to change. This manager wants to play this style. It's what you want to watch, so just enjoy it. And they will take on anyone toe-to-toe. No matter who the team they play, they will have their own identity and they will go for it.
I know they didn't win, but it's just good to see you smiling again, I have to say.
Of Tottenham Hotspur in London. I'm Derek Ray, and with me in the commentary position is the former Arsenal and England fullback Lee Dixon. And we've got Premier League action coming right up. It is Tottenham Hotspur versus Arsenal.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, really looking forward to both teams producing entertaining football. Let's see if we get that.
Defensive efficiency personified. A Spurs free kick it's going to be. He's got the right idea with that pass. Oh, it's gone in! A derby goal, the first of the contest. Electric.
Well, here's the goal again, and it's a great ball to put him through. And once he gets himself settled with the keeper to beat, he hammers it into the back of the net. Smashing goal.
Underway once more. Tottenham have the lead.
Number 20,
Martin Odegaard. Less than convincing defending and dispossessed. Son. Oh, he's really opened them up here. Dele Alli just needs to stay composed. And it goes! 2 goals in rapid-fire fashion and looking very comfortable here.
Well, here's the replay, and what a ball that is to put him through. And he composes himself, coolly slides it past a lonely keeper, who will be asking questions about where his back four went to.
It's going their way, 2-0.
Goal for Tottenham Hotspur, number 20, Dele Alli.
Martin Odegaard. Bukayo Saka. Crossing opportunity. Well, a moment he would dearly love to have back.
Well, listen, he's tried to hit it too hard. Just relax a little bit, focus on your technique.
Oh, wasteful from Spurs. He's in with a chance. Must be.